10,000 subscribers. We're finally here. We finally crashed that number. It's finally that moment. I couldn't imagine reaching 1,000 subscribers, let alone 10,000, but that moment is finally here. And to be honest, it couldn't come at a better time because today, March 17, the day when I'm posting this video, it's actually the 4th year anniversary of this channel. So there you go. It's like it was written somewhere. And I want to thank you guys because it's all owed to you. I couldn't do this without you. I couldn't post these kind of videos. I couldn't learn down the line. Your feedback, your support helped me reach this milestone. And I cannot wait to see where these next 4 years take us because we're not slowing down. We're trying to improve on what we've already built. We're adapting as always, and I cannot wait to grow together with you guys. And to be honest, this milestone will come with just some minor changes, just because we're trying to get bigger and bigger. Nothing too complicated, don't get me wrong. We're just trying to adapt, improve the quality of these videos. And you've seen it in the past as well. Actually, the first videos that I ever made were about some tear down frames. I was just doing some frames out of old gadgets, controllers, iPhones, you name it. So this is how it all started, just because it seemed like a fun idea. And as you can see, now we're doing more gaming related stuff. We adapted just because you guys showed me what you're more interested in, and probably I'll do the same. While I'm keeping the game oriented content, I might try to do some other ones as well in the same idea, maybe something close to it. For example, I'm also a small collector, as you can see right over here, but I have a bunch of different stuff already, and maybe I can show bits of that experience with you guys. Maybe I'll show you how I'm collecting, why I'm collecting like that. It would help out a bit. I also have a new studio, as you can see, from the past couple of months, but that is still not done yet. This is mostly it, but I'm trying to add more stuff in this studio, a gaming oriented area where I have some retro consoles together with the newer ones, some display items as well, and more desk setups, more RGB lights, you name it. So that will be something else that I will be showing later this year. My previous video was actually about ranking every Sony handheld console, so I might do something similar to that one. While it didn't get that many views, you guys seem to enjoy that one, so I'll probably do more, but maybe with a twist. Maybe I'll add a collaboration, or maybe I'll do a live event, a live stream with some friends from YouTube, but we're still keeping the same game oriented content right here on this channel because we have new consoles down the line, especially the Nintendo Switch 2. Apparently Microsoft is working on something cool later this year. I'm already gathering accessories for the Nintendo Switch 2. For example, the guys from QRD already sent a couple of these ones, some tiny little ones, but some more dedicated for Nintendo Switch 2. I'm waiting for those ones to come by. JSOX also contacted me saying that they are willing to send out a couple of Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, so I can't wait to check those one out. And talk about companies that I worked in the past. For this milestone, we do have a celebration for you guys and also for me, of course. We have a new logo that was done through Fiverr, one of our old sponsors that are supporting this video as well. I have made this a while back, but I was waiting for the celebration. So there you go, guys. This is the new logo. Hopefully you enjoy it. To be honest, it's quite similar to the old one, which was done by myself, but I wanted to hire someone that could make a dedicated logo for this channel, and it was quite professional. And by the way, you can find those guys that made this logo possible right over here. We also have a new intro that I'll be using from time to time for my videos, and it was also done through Fiverr by my friend Mo over here, which again, I'll probably use it from time to time, so let me know what you think. But in essence, we will continue on improving on what we are doing. We'll try to improve on our overall experience. I cannot do this without you guys, so drop in the comments what do you think and what you want to see next for this channel, because I'm so excited and I cannot wait to see where the next 4 years will take us. Yeah, time will tell. I'm super excited, and I'm happy that you guys are here to support my channel. Now, I did ask you guys if you have any questions for me, because I want to do a short Q&A session before we close this video, and I have all the questions right in front of me. And to be honest, I didn't even go through them because I wanted to answer on the spot. So let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. The first one is from my friend Mo. He is asking, do you think the market is big enough for companies like Apple and Samsung should step into handheld gaming? I do think that competition is what we need in this market, and as you've seen in the past few years, Sony and Microsoft are going in different directions, and while Sony, from my point of view, is winning it, I think they're pretty much doing what they want because they know they are dominating this market, and I think they need another player or maybe the old ones like Microsoft to step up a bit, because competition is really important for us consumers, and Apple and Samsung are big enough that they can actually pull this off. And to be honest, I was expecting Apple to do this at some point, but it's not too late. But to answer your question, yes, I do think that they can join this market and they can do well. Vlad over here is saying, imagine the start of Fallout 4, you being the protagonist. The announcement comes in, you panic, there is no time to make a pros and cons list. You reach into your console cabinet and take one. Which one is and why? Wow, that's a funny little one. If you know me, my favorite console out there is the PS Vita. But if you're asking it in this way, because I can only take one and probably that will be the last console out there, you'll just have to do the best with what you have. I'll most likely pick the Steam Deck, because that console is packed, you can do whatever you want with it. You can play old titles, new titles. So probably that's the one that I'll be taking, just because you can do so much with it and you can enjoy multiple titles on it. Claudio is asking, will you ever have TikTok? Actually, I do already. I'm not posting there that often, but whenever I'm doing a short for YouTube, I also try to post it on TikTok or Instagram Reels as well. So you can find all my socials down in the description if you want to check them out. Silvio is asking, what's your opinion on Sega games dropping off the release of Football Manager 25? To be honest, with this kind of games like Football Manager, FIFA, and the sports one in general, I think that while they are dominating and they are selling a ton of games, this also shows that the producers can do whatever they want, and most of the times they're just releasing a almost identical game each year with just some small improvements which can be added in the previous ones. So normally they don't really need a new game each year, they could just improve it, but they will never do that. But this time around with Football Manager, apparently they didn't have enough time to implement all the changes that they wanted to. So I'm actually happy they went this route and more producers can learn from this. If the game is not good enough, just wait a bit because fans will be happier in this way. And in the end, it's really not a bad move, to be honest. Claudio again is asking us, give us your top 3 consoles and why. Well, I'll keep it short because I can talk for hours about this topic. But I'll start off with the PS Vita. I mentioned this a bunch of different times. It's my favorite console in history for the functionality, for the games, but also for the build quality. I love that device. So that's one. Then the second one, I'll go with the Nintendo Switch. Because in the end the sales are not wrong, you see that it's almost surpassing the PS2 as the all-time best-selling console in history. So while it's not that powerful, the games for it were quite amazing. So I'm still enjoying that little device and I'm really excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. And the third one, it's quite tricky, but probably I'll pick the PS3. I know it's not a really big console, even looking back. Microsoft was winning that generation, but for me, it's what brought me into the console world. By then, I was a PC gamer. So ever since then, I enjoyed some casual couch gaming and I love this experience. To some extent, probably this channel wouldn't be possible without the PS3. So that's why I'm picking as the third one. Benji is asking, what inspired you to start making content? To be honest, I was seeing more and more, let's say, casual people that were doing this. And this wasn't like a thought that if they can do it, I can do it as well because they're doing a poor job. It was actually the opposite. If regular people were able to do videos with just a phone and maybe an iPad, this is how I also started this channel. They could just talk about things they like. People were coming and building a community. I was actually doing this for Fernando Silva. I was there in the first 1,000 subscribers and I was just enjoying watching him rambling about things he enjoys, the iPad in that case. But also I wanted to learn a bit of video editing because I didn't have any experience with it. And I wanted to do something tangible with it, not just make videos for me because otherwise I would just quit. And I made a story about uploading videos to YouTube just to try it out and also learning down the line. So in the end for me was more of a learning experience and see where this takes us. But here we are 4 years later and 10,000 subscribers later. and I couldn't be more happy about this journey. Banana Cam is asking if you could add one spec to any handheld device, what would it be? Now that's a complicated one because we have so many handhelds now and each have different functionalities. It's hard to have a specific one that I really want to add, but maybe it's a boring answer, but in the end, I really want a good battery life in these handhelds. While I mostly play at home and I'm fine plugging in the cable on the couch and I can still enjoy my games, it's not a good experience that you can barely use it for 1 hour like it is with the ROG Ally over there. So maybe that's one thing that can be improved, but that's in general what I would like in every devices, even smartphones and the handheld consoles out there. So yeah, maybe a boring answer, but that would be something that I would really like. Beyond the Portal is asking, where do you see video game streaming in 5 years? Do you think it will ever go mainstream enough to replace main consoles? And why is the Portal the best streaming console? Yeah, actually you can check Beyond Portal's YouTube channel. They're doing mostly Portal related content over there. So probably that's why he's asking about streaming, video game streaming in general. Well, I have been trying most of them out except Xbox Cloud Gaming because not really available in Romania and it was quite hard to get by it. But I have tested out Stadia, GeForce Now, remote play in general, not only on the Portal, but now especially on the Portal. And while I do enjoy the experience, for example, with the Portal, and I played and beat so many games on that one. And as I said before, I mostly play my PS5 through the PS Portal now than normal. But to be honest, I don't think it will replace the standard gaming anytime soon, not even in 5 years. Because as of now, we do have quite powerful enough internet. I also have good enough internet here in my home, but I still have some issues from time to time. But I can get by that one. But the thing that is sticking with me the most is you cannot really play it everywhere. For example, on a plane, which I usually like to do. I usually take one console with me. So things like that. Having the ability to play a game everywhere you can, that's the thing that probably most of people would like to do still. So yeah, I don't think it will replace it anytime soon, but I do think that they can work in parallel. That could be a fun little thing to do. Mo is asking, what's the most important part about the handheld? Battery life, titles, or performance? That's actually a really good one, and my honest opinion is that from these three I would go first of all with titles, because if you have a console which doesn't have the titles you're into, then it's definitely not for you. And for the other two, I would go with the battery life, because I also mentioned in the previous comment, and performance, because I can still get by with less FPS from time to time, as long as it works. I'm fine with performance being just a tiny bit lower than a high-end PC, for example. Radu is asking, what is your main goal you want to achieve with this channel and what made you start it in the first place? I think I already answered the last part, why I started this channel in the first place and where I want to go with this and what is my main goal. To be honest, I really want to build a community where we can talk about what we want to show here on the channel. We want to help each other out, give feedback, because I'm really trying to connect more with you guys. I'm always trying to post on the community page over there, but also on Twitter or Instagram. So this is my main goal. I want to build a proper community, and because we reached 10,000 subscribers, from the numbers aspect, we're just 10% away from that play button. And for me, that's actually the evidence that you finally made it as a YouTuber. So that's the first, let's say, number, the statistic part of this channel. That's what I'm aiming for. Matt is asking us, what's your favorite game and why? I'll actually answer it in two parts. My favorite franchise, which probably is not the best time to say it, but it's still my favorite one, it's Assassin's Creed. While I don't like the latest games that much, I still buy and I have actually the full collection of Assassin's Creed games, the physical ones. Anyway, I love that franchise, maybe not as much the new ones, but I'm really hopeful for Shadow, even though it got some negative parts from that one, but we're just a couple of days away from releasing that one. But as a one game, which is my favorite one, it probably has to be Spider-Man, the Marvel one, than on PS4 and PS5. It's just a fun little game, and I noticed this just because it's usually the game I always re-download, no matter the console, if it's a Steam Deck, ROG Ally, PS5, doesn't really matter. Has to be downloaded on at least one of my consoles, just because I like swinging through New York. It's a fun little game, so probably that has to be my favorite one. Sebastian is asking, in your opinion, what is the biggest difference between mobile gaming and handhelds, and do you think mobile gaming can reach the same performance as handheld consoles in the future? If they can reach that performance, I definitely think they can, but the bigger question is if they should. To be honest, in this moment, I don't have one single game installed on my iPhone. I haven't downloaded one in years. Having to play games on a mobile phone for me is really not it. And I know that there are a lot of cool games out there, console level games, like even Assassin's Creed Mirage can work on my iPhone. So you can definitely get to that level, man, where the gap is not that big, and definitely it can improve. Now it's just a matter of if we should do this. Now, these games that I mentioned, like Assassin's Creed Mirage, we'll probably get a few more of those ones just to test out the market. So based on those results, we'll see if we actually reach that part. To be honest, I'm not really confident that we will actually reach a certain point where these two worlds will merge together. I think we have answered most of the questions that we had in our previous videos, but I think this video is already too long, so thank you if you stick around until the end. And again, I really want to thank you for all these 4 years helping us reaching this milestone, 10,000 subscribers. It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't feel real, but yeah, I'm really curious and I'm really looking forward to look back at this moment when we were at just 10,000 subscribers. Let's see where the next 4 years take us. And until then, this is Silvio. This is the Tech Unravel, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one.